currently reading / listening to Reckless by Lauren Roberts, and I kind of want to give my thoughts on this series. I'm going to be so honest right now. I read Powerless last year, January, February timeline, and I didn't love it and I didn't get it. I didn't love it. It was okay. I think initially I ended up giving it like a 4-star just because of the hype around it, but then I realized no, it's kind of more of like a 3-star for me. Powerless was okay. And then I read Powerful, the novella, and I really liked that book. And then I was kind of excited for this one to come out, and then I got it on release day and I started reading it. I got about 40% in. Didn't like it, felt it was too repetitive. This did not need to be a book in my opinion from what I read. And so I soft DNF'd it because I wasn't sure, wanted to continue it. And then I got FOMO when everyone was getting Fearless and getting excited about that. So I ended up buying Fearless, and then I was like, now I have to finish Reckless. So I'm currently listening to it because somebody told me that the audiobook for Reckless is really good and it was a lot better than the book, like listening to it. So I restarted the audiobook because there were parts of it that I didn't remember. I kind of just wanted to get back in the story a little bit. So I decided to listen to the audiobook. That's what I'm doing. Anytime that I'm working and I don't have any meetings, I just pop in an audiobook. It's okay right now. It's moving. I think I am already enjoying the audiobook more than I am having read it, so we'll see how it goes. I just know that I got to a point where like it was the same scene happening over and over and over again, so I'm worried about that part making me want to kind of just DNF it again and just be done with it. I'm so close to finishing the series. I feel like I'm more than halfway through when I stopped here, so I might as well just finish it and see my thoughts. I didn't get the hype around Powerless. Powerful to me was better than Powerless. That might be an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I didn't like this one at all from what I read, so I'm hoping that I can get through at least over 40% so I can get past what I stopped at last time. We'll see how I feel after I finish reading it. I don't love this book so far, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll get back into Reckless and then I'll share some thoughts when I have them. Next day, and I'm currently still listening to Reckless while I get some work done. I'm enjoying the audiobook more than I was just reading it, so I guess that's a good sign. So okay, I'm gonna get back to listening to the audiobook and get back to working, and I'll update in a little bit. I'm about 81% through. I'm on chapter 39, so I've got this much left of the book. I will say after the 50% mark, it started getting better. Last time I said I read until about 40%. I feel like I was just around the corner from it getting good again. It did pick up a little bit and there's more going on. There's still some repetitiveness for sure. I'm enjoying the dialogue between our FMC and MMC a lot, and I think that's the part of Powerless that I enjoyed, was the way that they spoke to each other, and this tension that they had was something that I enjoyed from that book. The way that they talk to each other, it feels real and authentic. There's not much of a plot going on right now. I'm wondering where it's going to go. There's a lot of filler. I'm hoping that we get something a little bit more in here, but again, what kept me kind of engaged now after the 50% mark was just the dialogue between our FMC and MMC. I'm not intrigued to find out. I just know that there's like something big that happens at the end based off of everyone's reviews. That's what's making me hold on to the story, is I want to know what happens at the end that makes everyone want to read the final book in the series. I'll probably update at this point when I'm done the book, and we'll talk about it. Not disliking it as much as I did the first time around. I think that's because of the audiobook. I think because I'm listening to it while also reading it, that's a game changer. It definitely helps out with the slower parts of the book, or if I'm just busy and I don't have time to pick up the book, I'm just gonna lock in, I'm gonna read a little bit. Okay, I did forget that we did find out something about the FMC's past that kind of does have me a little bit intrigued now. It's about her family and her family history. We did find out something about her past that I'm excited to explore a little bit more and understand more about where she comes from and why she is the way that she is. So that's where we're at right now. She found out something about her family past. Let's just say there's a lot more to uncover there, so I'm excited to see it, and I know we'll get answers in Fearless probably. I highly doubt we're gonna get any answers in here. That's where I left off last. But yeah, we're just gonna keep reading and we'll see how far we get, and I'll update probably when I'm done the book. It is the next day. I'm on chapter 45 out of 49 and then an epilogue. So I'm just gonna lock in and we're gonna read and we're gonna finish this right now. Romance is so good. Like, it's just making me feel things again, and that's the main reason I liked Powerless and I read through it, was because of the romance and the way that they talk to each other, just the banter, the tension, but also just they say things that feel realistic, but also it just has depth to their words. Like, the way that they talk to each other has so much depth. The romance is so well done in the book. I didn't buy into the fantasy world, but I bought into the romance. I thought the last chapter was going to be predictable and I thought I knew what was going to happen, and I was thrown. I didn't expect that. I have to come back about my thoughts because I don't know what to think right now. So we're going to be back in a little bit. I did just finish, but I need some time to figure out what I'm going to rate it, and also just to process that ending. Like, what just happened? I just finished Reckless last night, so let's talk about it. I will say that this time around, the second time around, it was a lot better of an experience. It still wasn't great, but I would say that it was a lot better because I listened to the audiobook, and I would listen to the audiobook as I was following along in the book just to make it a more immersive reading experience. My initial thought process when going back into reading this was, do I want to start from the 40% mark or do I want to restart it? I ended up restarting it, and thank God for the audiobook, because I don't think that if I went back into this from the beginning and just reading it and not listening to the audiobook, I think I might have stopped myself again. But thank God for the audiobook. It did make those slower parts of the very repetitive parts go by a lot quicker. Nothing really was picking up until the 50-60% mark in the book. Started enjoying it a little bit more. I didn't see the ending coming. I thought I knew what was going to happen. For the most part, this series has been pretty predictable, if I'm being honest, but that ending, it got me. I didn't expect it at all. Like, I thought I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I was thrown for a loop. So that ending is solely the reason why, well, no, one of the two reasons why I want to continue and read Fearless. Overall, the book was repetitive. It did feel like a filler book. I will say that Lauren Roberts does know how to write a romance, though. The way that she writes her romance in these books has been one of the other two reasons that I continue this series. She's just so good at writing good banter, tension, but also just caring characters. You can tell they genuinely care about each other. And I think that when I was reading it again, it kind of made me feel like, oh, this is why I enjoyed Powerless. It was this part of the book, the romance between the FMC and the MMC, that I was really enjoying. Not completely sold on the world, the fantasy world that she's built. Landed on a 2.5 star rating for this one, and I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. And the reason for my 2.5 is I DNF'd it the first time. I gave it a second chance. It was still repetitive, and the only parts of this book that made me want to continue reading was the romance, and the ending got me. Those are the main two things, but I just think it wouldn't be fair to give it a rating higher than that because it's not something that I would highly recommend to people. And if I did recommend it, I would recommend the audiobook. I wouldn't necessarily recommend to pick this up. I'm going to continue the series. I am interested to see where the story's going to pick up from after this ending. Yeah, the ending got me. I think I sat there for a bit and I had to think about everything. I would say the story was really slow. There wasn't much to the plot. Lauren Roberts is so young. She's so young, and for this to be her debut fantasy series, I think she did a pretty good job. And I mean, if you look at any author that you've read and they have a catalog of books behind them, their debut series or novel is not going to be as good typically as the other ones that they write in the future. So I do see her growing as an author. I see a lot of potential in her being able to develop more in-depth worlds. I'm not 100% sold on the world, so I'm hoping when I read Fearless that there's going to be more world building than just the history. I like learning about the history of fantasy worlds because it's also interesting, like how the author thought of them, but also the process and what goes on. Like, we get a little bit. It's very much so a starter fantasy, and it's very much so a romance story first and foremost. So I would say for the romance, it was worth it for that second time to read it. If you are going to read this one, I would recommend the audiobook. I would love to see Lauren Roberts write a romance story. I think she could do a really good job with that, and she's so young, so I am excited to see her author journey. Just being able to start reading her first series and being able to follow her and watch her develop and progress as an author. I am excited for that. I'm excited to see more unique concepts and ideas in future books because I feel like a lot of the stuff we saw in this series so far was repetitive and just overdone a little bit in other stories. But like I said, I'm here for the romance, and I'm here because the ending got me. If the ending was predictable and I had guessed what was going to happen, I don't know if I would have read Fearless after, if I'm being honest with you, because it had a plot twist and I wasn't expecting it. I am curious. I'm curious to see where the story is going to go from here, and I'm curious what's going to happen with our FMC and MMC in the next book and how they're going to get out of what happened in Reckless. So I'm happy that I'm kind of excited to pick up Fearless. Didn't think that was going to happen. Those are my thoughts. I ended up on a 2.5 star. I don't think I'm going to jump into Fearless right away. There are so many other books that I want to read right now. I mentioned in my last video that my birthday's coming up next week on May 1st, and I really want to start my Elsie Silver journey, and I want to pick up Flawless on my birthday. I want to do that. So I don't know how many more books I'm going to start right now. I do have a couple arcs that I'm in the middle of, and I've been reading one of them at night, and I'm about 30% into that one. So I think I will pick that one up next, but we'll see. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.